So growing up as a child, there was this belief that any lady you saw with facial hair on and hairs on her chest was because it was caused by the lady being wicked. And I had a teacher that had such. So anytime I saw her, I was always very scared, not knowing that that could be attributed to what I'll be talking about today, and that is nothing other than hormonal imbalance. And I'll be focusing on hormonal imbalance in females, in women. So, what is hormonal imbalance? Before I go into saying what hormonal imbalance is, I'll be telling us what hormones are. Hormones are chemical messengers in the body. They actually control our moods, reproductive health, and also metabolism. Hormonal imbalance occurs when these hormones that control our moods, control our metabolism, and control the reproductive health is either too high or too low. What causes this hormonal imbalance? The causes of hormonal imbalance can either be natural or it could be as a result of a health condition. One of the natural causes of hormonal imbalance is in a situation known as menopause. Although menopause is a natural phenomenon, currently we are seeing young girls, even from the age of 25, 30, entering into early menopause. So in that situation, menopause is no more a natural phenomenon, it is now a health condition. So I'll be mentioning further on in this lecture, I'll be mentioning the symptoms of hormonal imbalance. And if you discover that you are experiencing any of these signs or symptoms, ensure you see your doctor so that an hormonal analysis will be carried out. Once the hormonal analysis is carried out, it will be able to tell if you have an hormonal imbalance, and based on your results, it will be able to point to the doctor what is the possible cause of this hormonal imbalance. When we talk another cause of hormonal imbalance, which is actually a health condition, is what we know as PCOS, thyroid disorders, diabetes. So when a lady has PCOS means polycystic ovarian syndrome, can cause hormonal imbalance. If you have thyroid disorders, and even females that are diabetes can cause hormonal imbalance. Then another cause of hormonal imbalance is stress and anxiety. So if you are stressed, if you are anxious, it can lead to your hormonal, it can affect the hormones in your system. Most times stress and anxiety increases what is known as a hormone known as cortisol. And once your cortisol level is increased, cortisol is an hormonal disruptor. So once your cortisol level is increased, you find out that it disrupts other hormones in your body. So it affects your female hormones, things like your progesterone and your estrogen, it disrupts it. Then, and the final cause of hormonal imbalance we'll be looking at today is unhealthy lifestyle choices. So things like your diet and things like lack of physical activity. So if your diet is unhealthy, it can cause hormonal imbalance. So when I'm talking about unhealthy diet, in terms of hormonal imbalance, the meal I'm looking at, the culprit I'm looking at mostly is meals that are high in simple sugar, meals that are high in simple carbohydrates. So things that cause your blood glucose level to spike immediately after a meal. So any meal that you eat that spikes your blood glucose level above a particular millimole fast, it can disrupt your hormonal levels. So it is normally advisable that you eat a meal that is balanced, that will ensure there is consistent absorption of your glucose at a steady pace, so as not to disrupt your hormones and cause hormonal imbalance. Further in the lecture, I'll be talking about how we can work on this unhealthy diet and sugar spike to be able to balance your hormones. Now, I had one of my subscribers ask that after a cesarean section, and she realized that she had stopped seeing her menstrual cycle, that is cesarean section a cause of lack of amenorrhea and lack of menstrual flow. Now, cesarean section is not the cause of lack of seeing your menstrual flow. Because once a lady gives birth, even if it's vaginal delivery or through cesarean section, once her body produces an hormone known as prolactin, which stimulates breast milk. So once she's actively breastfeeding, her prolactin level increases. In a normal physiological mechanism of a woman, the prolactin level increases. So once the prolactin level rises, prolactin prevents the hormone that will stimulate ovulation, that will get you ready for pregnancy again, from happening. So if a woman is actively breastfeeding, especially those that do exclusive breastfeeding, you find out that period you are actively breastfeeding, you are not seeing your menstrual flow. Although in some situations, we still have some ladies that even when they are actively breastfeeding, they still see their menses, and such ladies can still get pregnant. So for such women, breastfeeding cannot be a family planning method, but that's a lecture for another day. So if a woman has stopped breastfeeding after she had given birth, and after setting a particular number of months, her menstrual flow has not resumed, even if she gave birth through vaginal delivery or cesarean section, just know that the reason for your menstrual flow not resuming after you had stopped breastfeeding over a certain period of months, it's not because of the method of your delivery. It's not because of you gave birth through the cesarean section. It is as a result of an hormonal imbalance in your system. Something has happened that has prevented the hormones that will stimulate ovulation from occurring. It could be that after she gave birth and she has stopped active breastfeeding, her prolactin level has not dropped. In certain situations, there's some ladies that even when they are not breastfeeding, their prolactin level is still high. That could be the cause, but that is not always the case. So when you're experiencing such a situation, ensure you see your doctor so that he will be able to carry out an hormonal analysis on you. He will refer you for an hormonal analysis investigation. And when you carry out that test, it will be able to tell the doctor what is truly happening. But be rest assured, it is not because of a cesarean section that you are not seeing your menstrual flow. So what are the common symptoms of this hormonal imbalance? Because what are the things you'll be seeing that will point to you that I may be having an hormonal imbalance? But note, it doesn't mean that once you have these symptoms, that means, I have an, Miss Amy Thompson said, once I have this symptom, I have an hormonal imbalance. No, that's not the case. It's just a pointer. So once you're having this symptom, it tells you, okay, let me go and see my doctor, that something may be happening. I'm one of those persons that believe that ignorance is not bliss. Once I notice something, I want to find out what is the cause of that thing, because once you know what the cause is, you are heading towards the solution of that problem. So back to common symptoms. One of them is irregular periods, which I started with, that it could either be heavy, light, or mixed period. So once a lady has her menstrual flow is too heavy, it is light than normal, or you don't even see it at all, just know that it could be as a result of hormonal imbalance. Another symptom you may be having is mood swings. You find out that some people are depressed. Today they could be excited, today next minute they are depressed, next minute they are anxious. Just know that when you are having mood swings, it could be as a result of hormonal imbalance. Another symptom of hormonal imbalance is weight gain. For me, one of my symptoms, one of the ways I know that my hormones are not balanced is by me gaining weight excessively. I may not be eating once I'm just stressed, because stress affects my hormones. Once I'm stressed, you see me, any little thing I eat, I gain weight. But once I'm relaxed, you see that the weight just comes like that. So hormonal imbalance can cause you to add weight without any, you can't see that you are overeating. Some persons, it could be that they lose weight anyhow. So it is as in two extremes. Though some persons gain so much weight, some lose weight. Then another one could be that fatigue, you are just tired. If you're just tired, you have low energy. Remember I said that hormones control your metabolism. So once you have an hormonal imbalance, you could find out that you are just excessively tired. Another one is facial hairs. I started with the story of my teacher. So you have facial hairs, you experience acne, you experience skin dryness. That could be another cause of hormonal imbalance. Then for some females, it comes in the form of low libido, no sexual drive. They're experiencing vaginal dryness, hot flashes. Normally, you are meant to be experiencing hot flashes when you have gotten to menopause, but you see someone that is not menopausal, but she's experiencing hot flashes. These are symptoms of hormonal imbalance. Remember, I said it may be, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is. So you need to find out if that is actually the cause of your own symptom. Then in some cases, it could be digestive problem, whereby you're experiencing constipation, you're experiencing diarrhea, you know, it could be just digestive issues. So once you're experiencing all these things, it could be as a result of hormonal imbalance. So I want to talk about what finally what we can do naturally before we go, because once you get to the doctor, before you go the method of, okay, what drugs can I use to balance my hormones? What can I do naturally to be able to balance my hormones? One of the things I'll be able to say is that we should ensure that we eat healthy. And when this time around, when we are talking about healthy meals, I'm talking about ensuring that we reduce our consumption of simple sugars, high volume of simple sugars. For me, this period that I was very conscious of what I ate clean, I noticed that the facial acne I used to have, the weight disappeared, my skin became brighter, the facial hairs left. In short, I lost 10 kgs without stress. You know, in 3 months, I just noticed that I had lost 10 good kgs just because I ensured that I ate clean. And when we're talking about eating clean, is how to, there's a system in which you will balance your meals, whereby your carbohydrate meals with your fiber and protein, so as to prevent your sugar spike. Because once you have your sugar spikes in your meal, one after you eat, your sugar spikes so high, it causes the release of insulin, it causes the release of cortisol, and these two hormones are actually hormonal disruptors. They affect other reproductive hormones, they affect other hormones in your system. So if you are able to plan your meal to prevent that sugar spike, I think I'll do another, if we are interested in me doing a video on how to prevent that sugar spike so as to balance your hormones, that is as a result of eating meals that are high in simple sugars. Just raise a comment in the comment section. If I see a lot of persons are interested, I will do that. I'll teach you how to use your diet to balance your sugar spike, and that is one way in which you can balance your hormones naturally. Then the next one is exercise. But when it comes to exercise, too much of everything is bad in this case. So we want moderate exercise. If you exercise excessively, it's going to affect your hormones. And reduce your caffeine intake, reduce your alcohol intake. Then, so as to reduce stress, ensure that you sleep at least minimum of 7 to 9 hours every day. Reduce stress. And if you're able to do these simple lifestyle changes I've talked about, especially the thing about sugar, you see that your hormonal balance will improve. And if you love this video, feel free to subscribe. If you as usual, share the link of this video, and at the same time next week I'll be doing more videos and about various topics. You are free to recommend more topics on health investigations, lab investigations explained. Thank you very much for listening. See you same time next week. Bye.